start?
Yes, sir.
Obviously, great win. This guy sitting to my left set the tone. Bases loaded twice with a really good offensive team. And we get a double play with their leadoff hitter, who's a heck of a player. And then I told Coach Jackson, I said, dang, man, like, I hadn't seen many times when the other team like that has the bases loaded with nobody out. I think it was 4 pitches were batting the dugout. So I thought that kept all the momentum in our dugout. We did a really good job of having competitive at-bats throughout the lineup. Our guys have been doing that now for a long time. If a guy's a bad at-bat, the next guy usually doesn't. And they've just completely bought into that approach Coach Wierzbicki and Coach Jackson talked to them about. And that's why we came out on top. Tomorrow will be a really difficult game. The guys know that. I told them to take that shower and leave this game behind them. So we'll get back at it tomorrow.
Grace?
Jake and then Hunter, can you just walk me through that huge double play in the second inning? It seemed like it really took the wind out of their sails.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough today, all day. That was a really good team, really good hitting team. And Coach Gaines came out and said we're 1 pitch away and trying to attack him away with me specifically and my stuff. And I didn't think we were originally going to turn 2 when I saw the ball put in play because he can run. So unbelievable turn up the middle from Madera and Vandy, and that was big for me, especially after they picked me up in the first or the 5 spot after I got jumped for 1. So that helped me just kind of settle in and, again, trust those guys behind me. They've been picking me up all year, so that was awesome.
Hunter, can you answer that too?
I think it was just huge by Jake right there, just to get his pitch through there and just turn it double play. It's just, I think it was a momentum killer for them, I would say. And just kept the momentum on our side throughout the whole game.
Tommy?
Coach Forbes, it felt like maybe they approached Jake differently than other teams have, not trying to kill the ball, just trying to get, I think you gave up more hits than you've given up all year. Did you notice that or see that, and then that mound visit by Gaines really settled him in?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's approach against Jake has to be, you better be ready for the fastball. And I think that's what theirs was. I think Jake will tell you, he wasn't like Jake Knapp, A+ sharpness, but he's always A+ competitiveness. So that's why he's our Friday guy. But they were staying short to the ball. They were having good at-bats. But again, I told the team back there, great pitchers make big pitches in the biggest situations. They have a knack for that. They're better in the tougher situations, and he had 2 really tough ones. And to get out of both of those with only 1 run in those innings was really big for us.
Adam?
Hunter, what do you make of the way you guys have started these games the last couple of days? I think the 5 spot today made it 14 runs in the first inning the last 4 games. I mean, what is it? What's working there for you guys, and what do you think's happening?
I would say just going out there, just staying with our approach, working what we've done in the cages is pretty much this whole week, and just sticking to our approach to get our pitches in, hit them, I would say.
Pat?
Hunter, kind of on a similar note, I mean, you guys have had a track record here over your 5 years working with Coach Wierzbicki, where when you have these kind of long layoffs in between games, prepping for a pitcher, you guys have been able to come out on the attack. Just what is it about the plan that he's able to put together for you guys know you're going to be able to execute that and have success?
Just watching video every day of the pitcher and just putting this machine the way he's going to throw and just go out there and just execute our plan throughout the whole game. Don't take the pitch off, I would say.
Jake, on a day when it was clear that you didn't have your best stuff, how important was it for you to just really grit up, and then when you look up, you still got through, got to the 8th inning and put together another great, strong start?
Yeah, I mean, for me, especially today, with the way our offense is swinging, it makes it easy on me. Like, I didn't have my best stuff, but I was just trying to attack and keep the ball in the park. It ended up working out pretty well, but they had a good approach, and we're on the barrel a lot today. So when you don't have your best stuff, just try and fill it up, and still hitting's really hard, so make them string together a bunch in a row. And I was lucky at times to give up just singles, but just trusting the defense, especially on a day like today where I'm not able to punch a lot of guys out.
Quick follow, how good did it make you feel to see the way your boys picked you up, especially after that first inning, dropping a 5 spot, and then you go out there with a shutdown inning?
It's awesome. I mean, it changes the game. It kills the momentum that they have right away and allows me to settle in a big game, big environment. So knowing those guys are going to do that every time I'm out there, I mean, it makes my job really easy.
Here in the front then, Brian.
Coach, thinking about Gavin's hit specifically, we see the shift and then, he hits it right where they're not. How much do you guys work on that position hitting, and when do you use those situations?
Yeah, honestly, it's not, you have to be really careful. That's like a Derek Jeter type ability to be to look at the shift and move the ball like that. So really, we just try to get our pitch and drive that pitch. We don't work hard at all on beating the shift, but with 2 strikes, I mean, like Stoke right there, they were playing him in a 5, what we call it, where everybody was on the right side except for the third baseman, and the 6 hole was open, so Stoke knows if I just move the ball right there, I can beat the shift. So we do work on that with 2 strikes.
Brian back.
Hunter, how does it feel to be back this season, being a huge impact during these super regionals? And then what was going through your mind during that first inning home run?
I would say it feels unreal to be back here playing in Super Regional at Chapel Hill. It's just playing with Knapp and all the old guys, just coming back one last year and just playing feels amazing here at UNC.
RL.
How big was it that you got 2 innings from Chewy? You didn't have to use McDuffie, you didn't have to use Lynch, and your bullpen's fresh.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. Just telling the coaches, obviously, you talk about every situation, and we had a plan, and I wouldn't have guessed that would have been the case in the first game of a super regional, but I'll sure take it. So we'll meet again tomorrow morning, or later today, me and Coach Gaines, and we'll talk through tomorrow's plan, but that definitely helps us have those guys fresher, because McDuffie and Lynch, we were hoping not to have to use today, but we could have used them, but now they have 4 days, so that should help them.
The margin allows you more flexibility.
Absolutely, yep.
Kip, then Tommy.
Yeah, Hunter, you and Luke had already homered by this point, and you send one in the center field wall that their center fielder makes an amazing catch on. Did you see it live when he made the catch? Were you watching it?
Yes, I did. It was an unbelievable catch. And before that one, Gavin's ball, he made an unbelievable catch too. He's a great center fielder, just made 2 great catches.
Tommy.
Coach Forbes was there. Any thought of sending Kepley on that triple?
No. Well, that's a lie. Because obviously you're thinking about it as the ball's going out there, and I think Kepley sets a record for getting around the bases too when he hits a home run. He's basically trying to get it in the park when it's already over the wall. But it's that kid plays the game the right way, and he's really been a pleasure and a joy to coach. He never takes a day off, but you have to look at it and make sure that this exchange is clean, and you have to make that decision pretty early, because he's not going to stop unless you stop him.
I've got 4 more, so you don't have to raise your hand anymore. Grace, then Adam.
Coach, fundamental defensive execution seems to be just a calling card of this team, but the snags by like Gavin and Vandy, what do you make of those plays that aren't necessarily going to show up in the box score but are huge for the outcome?
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, Jake may not have had his best stuff, so it started with him. We only walked 1 today between him and Chewy. And Chewy's walk, I believe, was a 3-2 pitch. And again, you have to, Vandy's in that spot for that play because Coach Wiersbicki put him in that spot. So that's a lot of time. I saw the coaches this morning. I looked at Weirs. I was like, man, dude, you got to get some sleep. His eyes, I was like, man, I know you're ready, so get some sleep tonight. But those guys do a great job of positioning our infielders and our outfielders.
Adam and Rod.
Scott, I was wondering if you found it rewarding in any way that with some of the talks with Luke the last couple of days that he comes out, it's an RBI single in the first, the 3-run bomb in the second inning. I mean, did you go to him and say, now that's what I'm talking about type of thing?
No, we talked about it before. Coach Weirs made a great point with him, said, he made a comp compared to Kyle Schwarber. Like I told y'all, he does 2 things. He walks, and when he hits it, he does damage. We said, Luke, let's just get back to doing that. And I had a good feeling about Luke, and he got that first hit. He almost had 2 home runs. He was on the barrel all day, so that is really good for us as a team.
Rob.
For Scott and Jake, 14th win of the year, I think that matches a single season program record. What's that mean for you to see that place in history for Jake, and Jake for you to be a part of that?
Go ahead.
I mean, it's way bigger than just me. That's what I've kind of leaned on all year. It's a credit to these 2 right here and everybody else in the program. They've put me in a position to have that happen this year, and I'm just very grateful that it's come that way. It's something that I'm proud of, but I'm just grateful to be a part of something so special.
Scott?
I didn't know that was the case, but obviously it's what he deserves. I've been coaching a long time. we set my office. You know, Jake was trying to decide if he was going to come back for another year. And I'm just thankful that he trusted all of us and he made that decision. He's pitching in our uniform and not a pro uniform. He can pitch in that in August.
For Jake, you held the top 3 hitters in Arizona's lineup to 1 for 12. How important was that?
The rest of them did some damage, but yeah, I mean, those guys are really good at the top, and they set the tone for that offense. But Coach Gaines had a really good plan, especially for those guys at the top. I didn't do my job executing to the rest of the lineup, but you know, it's a really good team, really offensive team, and Jason he'll have to make his pitches tomorrow, so they'll make adjustments, and I was just happy to at least get a couple guys out.
I'd like to not do my job the way you did your job. All right, thanks everybody, appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.